reminds me. On Friday, I was playing around with a website that
Mm-hmm.
I got clued into. It doesn't yet have the guardrails put on, so you can do all kinds of stuff that the music industry would not like on it.
Okay.
And it's called Sun Auto, SUNAUTO
Okay.
.ai, I believe.
Okay.
And the thing is that as of yesterday, when I was playing with it, you could do anything. I mean, I had Tom Waits doing a cover of Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I had a piano melodic Tori Amos singing "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way."
Oh, that would be
So if
priceless.
you want to play around with it and see if you can come up with a new intro song and with any artist in the world singing it that you want.
William Shatner does something
I'm a rocket.
WAP.
Yeah. I'm boldly. Yeah. Yeah.
Just the look on your face was priceless. You'll have to rewind it and watch it sometime and see. It was good enough with Golden Throats, but yeah. Anyway,
the 70s are behind us for a reason.
Thank God.
Time is linear. It's not a big ball of timely-wimely.
Thank God the Time Lords are from Arkansas. It'd be a shrub. Here's my cousin, my sister.
Humanity would have died off 100,000 years ago from inbreeding.
Or just accidental changes of the timeline. We took this ape and bred it with this thing. It was looked like an alligator. It didn't turn out
well. Or even worse, because of them messing around at a key nexus event 1,000 years ago, now the entire cuisine of the world is based around the flavor of hot Cheetos.
With a little bit of vinegar thrown in for good measure.
No, hot
so you
get Cheetos and energy drink.
Well, who knows? Maybe this is the timeline they've been tampering with. That's why we have certain people in office. That's as much as I'm going to
say. I'm not even bringing that up.
So how you been, man?
I've been doing okay. I'm sorry, I was just trying everything up. I've been doing okay. It's been trying to get back into and finish this model, which, to give you an idea what it's looking like right now, this is the amount of wiring coming out the front. And that's after I consolidated it down. But yeah, that's once I get that all finished, and I just got a new toy in today that's going to make it a lot easier, because one of my real headaches is shrinking the heat shrink around the connections, because you don't want short outs and stuff. And I used to try to use my soldering iron to do it, or a lighter underneath it, and it's always been too much heat or not enough heat or whatever. But I got, where's it at? I got this for $8 from Amazon. This heat wand thing and hot air gun, and this thing works like a champ. I was just using it today, and it's just pinpoint, and it's hot. Good stuff right there.
Cool.
But other than that, no, I'm just trying to get the mojo going, man. It's been a real dead mojo kind of couple of weeks. I'm not sure what's up with that.
Maybe stress?
No, I think it's little personal information. They backed off some of my medication, and because of it, my stuff is, as I've been adjusting to it, has been all over the place. But it's getting better now. But that's neither here nor there.
No, can understand how that feels.
Yeah.
But in good news, I fixed my motherboard fan problem. So oddly enough, all I had to do was take the assembly off the bottom.
For those
And
who are wondering what he's talking about the motherboard on his Elegoo 3D printer. Go ahead.
okay, so I took the bottom plate off,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a little piece of plastic that had gotten in there somehow. Don't
That
know
would do it.
where it came from, but it was like, and then when it slowed down, when it turns off or whatever, it but
Right.
whenever it got up to speed, it was like, nah, don't.
No, that's too much. It shouldn't be doing that.
And so I took it out, and it was like, quiet again. It's like,
Oh,
no,
good.
it's good. I'm
That's
not having to
excellent.
deal with like, yeah. So
No, especially in an enclosed space, not being able to get away from it, that would suck. Make you not want to print.
yeah, it's kind of hard to print after you get off work. When you get off work at 12 midnight, and you're like, I might wake up the neighbors, but the more important thing is that I might keep myself up, and I like sleep.
Exactly. Although one of my big problems is I'll come in here and sit down to get to work, and somehow, I'm not sure how, my computer will turn on the video game Civilization, and I'm not sure how that happens. I mean,
just loads itself and starts.
Oh, it does.
you.
It does. And then it puts itself right in front of me, and I, got the mouse and the keyboard. It's insidious, I tell you. But
it can be like that. Games are like that. I've played many a Civ game to the point where I was like, I don't even know why I'm playing this anymore. It's the year 3000. I've basically killed everybody else, but
yeah, you know what's bad when you purposely leave one civilization alive and down to one city just so you can. I mean, you wiped everybody else out, but now you're just leaving one civ alive so you can go ahead and complete your science victory instead of just doing it as a, as a Trump victory. No, I'm sorry, not a Trump victory.
We don't use that name here.
No.
The one I remember fondly was I had one where Gandhi was the last. The Indian civilization was last.
Oh, which version was this?
This is like Civ 2. It was a long time ago.
Oh, back when Gandhi had the problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Gandhi decided to go hellfire and brimstone on me, sneak attack, and launched a major attack, wiped out like 12 cities. It was like a lot.
For those who do not know the history of civilization, in Civ 2, the civilization of India that was led by Gandhi had a quirk. It was a coding problem, and if you got the friendship level of India all the way up to the max friendship that you could, for some strange reason, that would flip the variable from positive to negative. And all of a sudden, Gandhi turned into a homicidal maniac who instantly went on the warpath and was just going for you. Yeah. So that was Civ 2. I've got, because on Steam, what was it? When they were coming out with Civ 6, they had all the other Civs on sale for like $5 a pop. So I went on Sim and on Steam, and I got Civ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Civ Beyond Earth. I've got 6, and also I got last year's release of Civ 7. It's not that good. They went a different route with it. It's not as good as the other ones. My favorite one is Civ 5. All right. My opinion, that's where it apexed at. Civ 6 I didn't like because, you know me, I'm a hardcore atheist, and I didn't like the fact that if you went the religious route, you could get miracles. And
I can see that.
I was like
reading a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Sandpaper on the open wound. Let's pour some salt in. Let's see how that feels. Is it good? Does it make you feel happy?
I was not a fan of that. And Civ 7, they did some really different things with, and maybe I should give it more of a chance. But when it came out, it was pretty much blasted by the whole Civ community. Like, what the hell is this crap? and they tried doing patches. I mean, literally, they were having patches from day one to try to calm people down. And I haven't tried it since, probably about 6-7 months. So maybe I should try it again. Civ 5 though, that's my happy spot.
I will tell you that I personally would like somebody, software developers, game developers, whoever wants to take this, banner and run with it. If you want to make some Trekkies happy, especially him and I, take something like Civ and make it a not just like part of the galaxy, but like the entire galaxy, and make it accurate. That would be nice too. But make it where you actually have a post
scarcity.
Yeah, post scarcity civilizations where you can actually have real fleets, not just like, oh, we got our 15 ships to fight. Yeah, that's.
See, here's my problem with that.
It's underwhelming.
here's my problem with that. Is I would like to think that I'd be the science Vulcans, but I know that deep down inside, I'm just going to go on the warpath like the Klingons, and
as long as you're not like the Time Lords, you'll be okay.
as long as you're not the Cardassians, yeah. But so Starfleet Academy.
Before we get into Starfleet Academy, I wanted to tell you this. This is the reason why what you said sort of chimed into that. There's actually an anime I saw, which is called Legend of Galactic Heroes. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No, I've never heard of it.
If you like Space Battleship Yamato, which I don't think you've ever seen, well, at least not recently. We talked about it, but you haven't seen the recent one. But if you like the old one, you'd probably like this. Anyway, it basically deals with 3 civilizations that are having to deal with their political issues, and it derives a lot of things from political, military, and technological. So there's a lot of combat tactics and ideas on how things should be fought in space. So X, Y, and Z is actually a real thing in this, because if there's a combat scenario going on, there's going to be all sorts of instead of just like, oh look, we're coming at each other straight on, we're on the same plane.
We're on the same plane and the same elevation on the plane.
Instead of like coming in at each other like I mean, the only time you ever see that really in Star Trek besides Deep Space Nine is actually yesterday's Enterprise. And it wasn't done really effectively because the shots were mostly sort of similar. But the Klingons did attack from the top and were shooting at the Enterprise D, so they hit the top of the shields, which was a weak spot in shield design. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. It's a pretty good anime. I enjoy it. I've just got into it. If you need a link to it, I can probably get that for you later. If your son has got Crunchyroll, you should be able to watch it anytime you like. And
last I checked, he had Crunchyroll.
Okay, then you can you can indulge and see what you think of it. I personally think it's more realistic to a post scarcity civilization than what you have in Star Trek, at least in terms of fleet and stuff going on politically. Because people will go, hey, you know what? We'll just hand them their ass, and then somebody goes, hey, you know what? You didn't take this into account, and we'll just go ahead and flip the switch, and you're like, your fleet's going, hey, it just doesn't work right, and I'm getting trounced, and that's how it goes in real life. I mean, things happen, and you don't take into account, and next thing you know, you've lost the battle.
What?
Huh? Did you lose the connection?
Yeah.
You still with me? I think his connection died. For the folks at home, Ash is having router problems. He had to reset his router before we started this conversation. So when he comes back, we will resume our conversation about Starfleet Academy.
I'm saying...
You back? Okay, I'm by myself. Hi, I am your host, Sean. And he's back.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Anyways, I was driving and talking to the AI, and I was running the numbers, and I was like, because one of the things that gets me is, you know, a lot of people always say, "Oh, it's so difficult to, to build these, capital ships." All right,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's not.
Not really.
All right, with just the general level of automation that we'll even have ourselves within the next 100 years. All right, and let's say that we somehow find a way to escape this gravity well. That's our big, Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
If you set automation out to gather up all the resources in the asteroid belt, not even the Oort cloud or the Kuiper, region or anything like that, just our asteroid belt. I had it run the numbers and figure out, about how many ships could be built based on that, and run, and I made sure that it, figured, only a certain percentage of the material would be, usable and stuff like that. So did all that, and it came up with a number in the several million.
All right. I completely believe that.
So
no problem with that.
Yeah. So, building out a huge fleet. And that's the thing that always gets me in a post scarcity, world. They would have huge fleets readily available. And then, with, any good nanotechnology, they could just take the old holes and completely, gray goo them down and recycle.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal to think there's graveyards of ships just floating around. Why?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've got transporter technology, you have the ultimate recycler. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah. Just start transporting out chunks and reconstituting them into the new shapes that you need.
And actually, back around Star Trek Motion Picture or Wrath of Khan, they were talking about how they refit ships. Like there was discussion points about this among fans, and it was like, oh, they use transporters and they just
oh yeah,
plates and then slap it on the hull, and they can have a fleet in almost no time. And then we went backwards for some reason, like it's gonna take us 5 years to get the fleet back up to strength because we lost 39 ships. Like, why? Are you that bad at shipbuilding? You can't figure out how to put the bang the rocks together, guys. That's how it works.
Well, technically it is. I mean, even in our society, all of our computers are just because, we banged the right rocks together, and then jammed some lightning into them. And that's how our society runs. But
I just couldn't resist the Douglas Adams quote. That's all.
Oh yeah, no, I was just expounding upon it. No. Okay, I went off on a tangent there, but now I lost what I was going to say. I was going to say something. Gosh darn it, I forget what it was.
It was bigger than a bread box.
No, it was something along the lines with the whole. Oh, even in the Enterprise series, the NX-01. They stopped off at a automated repair facility that was doing just that. It was using just that straight, basically transporter technology in order to completely rebuild a ship.
Oh yeah, I mean, from the standpoint, this is what really bugs me. You have holodecks on the Enterprise D, right?
Yeah.
And the holodeck basically uses transporter technology.
According to Strange New Worlds, that it was also on the 1701. But go ahead.
But anyway, we'll stick to the D because I trust that better than the Strange New Worlds. Suddenly we have holodecks for some reason. Anyway, but repairing a starship, if you have holodecks, should be pretty easy to do, because what you do is you grab, let's say you damaged your warp core. Okay, let's say something fell on the warp core, damaged it, whatever. Hey, look, there's a section that we need to replace. Beam it out. Beam a new one in. Recycle the one you had. Whatever you need to do with it. Get it out of the way. Reconstitute the warp core. Turn it back on. You got power again. 2 hours later, you're up and running. The engineering crew should be able to do this in their sleep, because they should be able to, with the type of technology we have, we're getting to there. We should be able to go print, slap it in, and we're done. And we go about our business.
This is the
But
problem.
that doesn't happen because of narrative convenience.
I was going to say, this doesn't happen because when writers have no technical background, they don't think of this.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Straight
it's like in the news series. Apparently, they have the Pathway Drive. That is the new one. It's the Pathway Drive, which basically creates they call it a subspace corridor, but at the rates they're traveling and stuff like that, it's almost micro wormholing it. Which leads me to the fact that if you're going down the gateway, if you're going down the pathway and you're going through this corridor, can more than one ship travel down the same corridor? Can there be a big, like a big mother vessel, and lots of tenders, and the big carrier punches the hole through, and then the whole fleet goes through and stuff like that? If you're traveling through, can there be a point where an enemy can go ahead and intercept you and do stuff like that? I mean, that was the whole thing, especially when it came to FASA and stuff like that, was that one of the big differences was when they came up with tactical warp, which was when, they got to the point where they could interfere with each other's warp travel and launch weapons and stuff like that. Is that going to be a possibility with this pathway? And then another thing that kind of saddens me as somebody with an engineering mindset is the fact that where in TOS and TNG and DS9 and ENT and VYR, well, I don't know what the acronym is for Voyager, but and all these other ones, VR, VGR. No, that's V'ger. Damn it, that's from TMP.
No, that was VGER actually, but anyway.
But in all of those, there is in canon, there is hard scientific and engineering thought that went into the propulsion system. They don't have that with the pathway. It just works.
It really seems like the explanation changed over the episode. We'll get back to that because we really need to discuss Starfleet Academy. I'm responsible. I'll take responsibility for this, going off on tangents. But the thing is, it starts off as like it's a Romulan sort of singularity drive. It wasn't. It was something completely different, and the explanation shifted over the course of the episode. By the end of the episode, I actually thought they were going to enter hyperspace coordinates, so they wouldn't be like getting too close to a star boy because you don't want
to end up over at Alderaan.
It was like, Star Wars. So it did seem like they had problems narratively to try to figure out what they were doing with this pathway drive. But then again, a lot of times they've been having problems with drives ever since they came up with the poor tardigrade torture device drive.
Well, and see, that's the other thing that gets me is now we have 3 different types of drives. We have the standard warp dilithium. We have the singularity drive that's been brought up in Starfleet Academy, and we have this pathway drive. Why did the Federation fall apart when dilithium went up? I mean, you had all these other methods. I mean, I guess it was from all the ships and power plants going kablooey. But if you had all these other methods that were better, it shouldn't have been down for as long as it was. Yeah. And really, it wasn't down for that long because the kid on the planet, he only aged like 50 years.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like two or 300 years ago. So he's just extremely long-lived.
Oh, yeah. Everybody but the humans.
Yeah, because we're just dumb humans. Yeah, we haven't been able to figure out genetic engineering or anything like that. We're just still dragging our knuckles on the ground and going, "Hey, we're eugenics wars. Can't do anything. Eugenics wars." Yet in Section 31, we have somebody who's from the eugenics wars and is Starfleet operative. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. It's just
Narrative convenience again.
Mhm,
Narrative
it is.
convenience breaks again.
It's the genetic manipulation is a convenient when it lets us have Spock, but anything else we can't do. We discussed
Right.
that before. Yeah.
Mhm. It's like Spock can do no wrong, but number one, prison time.
Oh yeah. Just for existing. Yeah. The sins of the fathers are yours. Bashir, you're cool, man. You're cool.
It's because you're a male. You contribute to society, but the minute you have breasts,
Well, no one said that.
I know, but I am.
Oh, okay. That's because we're.
But it does seem to be like that because if you notice, Bashir and Spock are fine, but number one has anything happen. Simon Tarsus, right? He gets cashiered out of Starfleet, but he doesn't get cashiered out of Starfleet because he was genetically engineered. He gets cashiered out of Starfleet because his grandfather was a Romulan.
Now here's
He
my
was half
question.
Romulan, half human. It wasn't a problem doing that, but
Now here's my question. Hold on.
Mhm.
So, how did the grandfather and the grandmother hook up? I mean, that obviously had to be genetically modification for that to occur because the Romulans are basically Vulcan. They're cousins.
Here you go.
But at that point, he's not even. He isn't the culprit. He isn't one removed from the culprit. He is twice removed from the culprit, and still they're coming down on him.
It's because he lied. He lied on his application to Starfleet Academy. That's the explanation. And actually, I buy that. I'd buy that. But the same thing as keeping cashiered the way they did.
He lied.
Yeah. He lied. But at the same time, they don't bring up anything to do with his genetic makeup about lying. It's all about him lying and not about his genetic makeup. Whereas number one, it's all about her genetic makeup. And not because...
Could that be because she is closer in the timeline to the eugenics force?
Possibly. But then again, I think it's just poor writing. That's just me.
When it comes down to it, that is exactly what's going on. I mean, the simple fact that all any of the defending lawyers had to bring up was, why are you persecuting this person for somebody else's sins? They are a victim just as much as anybody else. They didn't ask to have this done.
Yeah, they didn't get a choice. It's not like they can go back in time and be like, I don't want to exist.
Yeah, I know a time traveling doctor. No, that doesn't work.
Data, in this next episode of Star Trek Next Generation, Data goes back to his past and kills Dr. Soong before he was born.
Well, I have to say, one of the things that I sincerely do not enjoy about Star Trek, but it is from the very outset, it has done it again and again and again and again and again, is time travel. All right. From I think the first season, they were doing time travel.
There were 3 episodes that were heavily time travel inflicted.
And so, but that's one thing I just do not enjoy about Star Trek is the time travel. I'm sorry. I am with the Vulcan Science Directorate, and I do not believe that time travel is possible.
So should we get you long pointing nacelles with a big ring and an Enterprise style hull? Since you're with the Vulcan Science Directorate,
slap some latex ears on the side of my ship. That's all I'm looking for.
The USS Nakatomi Plaza arrives with giant ears on the side. Stylistic.
Those are, since my ship should be able to land, so those are for aerodynamics. Those are rudders. Those are. They're rudders.
This makes me almost want to print out a copy of the Cygnus and stick giant Vulcan ears on it and put little landing legs on it.
One of the cool things that I came across is, did you see that Fan Home has added new ships that they're going to be coming out with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to see how they're going to do the Athena.
That's a good question.
With the detached cells.
I personally think they're just going to do clear plastic, but that would be my radar.
That's the only way they can do it.
Yeah, because otherwise you're gonna have to get really good with magnets. Really,
Yeah.
really, really good with magnets.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like you have to have them balanced and sit them inside the frame so they'll sit there. If you take them out, then they'll fall out and they won't. They're easily lost. So don't do that.
Now,
Yeah.
apparently, they are doing 13 new ships. I'm sorry, they're doing the USS Aledo from Lower Decks,
Mm-hmm.
the NA-01.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the synth attack ship from Picard season 1, the Damocles from Strange New World, the Athena from Starfleet Academy, the Cerritos, Enterprise Galileo shuttle, another ship, the Kelsey May from Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
I think it's the one to sell thing that was in that episode where they were transporting people. It was like
then they're doing
ship with a nacelle.
an extra large version of the Cerritos with the hull removed. I don't know what that means.
There's an episode where the Cerritos comes to this planet with a larger version of a Starfleet Explorer, same sort of design. And because this planet explodes and does something, it damages the other ship and it starts tumbling towards the planet they're trying to make first contact. And so the Cerritos figures out that if they strip all our hull plating off the main hull,
oh yeah,
we can go in and save them. But we have to take all the hull off.
Yeah, I think I remember that one.
Which is kind of weird, but at the same time, I can see them being able to do that because of the way they're designed. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just accept it. It's just a TV show. I'll just relax.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see. They got the Nova Flyer from Prodigy, the USS Adventure 20-1, a Gorn Hunter, and the Protostar extra large size.
See, here's another one for you. What happened to the Protostar drive?
Was the Protostar drive a drive? I thought it was just like it came apart. I thought that was all
it literally had a Protostar for its drive core, and it allowed it to tap into effectively something akin to slipstream. And so, another reason why, well, yeah, dilithium powered ships might have gone kaboom, but what about the Protostar powered ships? What happened to them? Did they just not do that after the show? I just decided that was a nice try. I don't think I'm going to do that again. Gasoline powered engines are not for me. I'm going to stick to steam power.
It's powered by an actual contained Protostar inside the ship. Hyper advanced warp derivative powered by stellar scale energy output. In-universe function. Does receive some technical. Okay. The ship contains a stabilized Protostar. The Protostar provides massive energy output. The energy feeds a propulsion system capable of crossing thousands of light years extremely fast, possibly traversing quadrants in relatively short time frame. So how fast is it? In the show, the Protostar travels thousands of light years in a very short time spans, appears capable of inter-quadrant repositioning, dramatically outperforms Voyager Arrow Warp, and is arguably so
it basically has the same speed factors that Star Wars hyperdrives do, because it can move relatively easily from the Gamma Quadrant or the Delta Quadrant directly into the Alpha Quadrant without so much as by your leave. It's like, hey, we need to get over here. Okay, there we go, done. So I could actually, if I was a strategic planner, right?
Yeah,
I would build a huge ship with a Protostar drive, and have the smaller ships go along for the ride, and then move the big ship, and then you exit, disembark. Here you go, have fun. Because if it's a one-off and these Protostar drives are kind of hard to build a super huge ship. Why not just do that? I mean, Dune did it. Why can't you do it?
Well, yeah, but it says here it's gravitationally unstable, plasma dense, fusion active, Um, do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Okay, the protostar drive still relied on warp field principles and likely still requires dilithium regulation.
Well,
I don't
likely
see
doesn't
how.
mean it's for sure.
What?
Said likely doesn't mean it's for sure. There was no.
Well, yeah, and see, that was the whole thing. Is the dilithium was used to, to manage the matter antimatter reaction.
Mhm.
It was right. I'm right.
I
Right.
personally thought that what they did is they used the dilithium matter antimatter reactor to jumpstart the protostar when it had a problem, from what I remember. But then again, I haven't watched it in a while. But and it was essentially like, oh, we don't have enough power to get the protostar core going. Well, what we'll do is we'll go over here, get this, jumpstart it, and then hey, look, we got it going again.
See, I thought that the dilithium crystal
Mhm.
was supposed to manage the energy reaction between the matter antimatter.
It is. It's supposed to modulate the harmonics,
Right.
so the vertium cortinide drive coils will work properly inside the warp cell.
Yeah. We'll just head down to the salvage yard and get that. Yeah.
They'll have some coils.
down there.
They'll have some coils.
I hear you're looking for some Type 7 drive coils. Might have some, might not.
It actually, to me, the funny part about the design of.
I'm sorry. I just have to finish the thought. And then the guy goes, careful of that dog. It's got bad gas. But go ahead. You were saying.
Is that, nobody ever brings up an episode where vertium cortinide is like hard to get. But everything else that's hard to get, deuterium, antimatter, dilithium crystals under the sun. But, it's like there's planets, I guess, made out of vertium cortinide hanging out, everywhere. Just pick it up.
What happened right before the Discovery did their fun little time hop to the future? All right. Which basically, time traveling to the future is easy. Just throw them into stasis. And when they come out, it feels like time travel to them. That's all you got to do. All right. It's going to the past. That's a bitch. But right before, I think it was the episode right before, they brought that princess person onto the ship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And her whole thing is her planet she had come up with a way to reconstitute the lithium.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So basically turning it from a scarce resource to something that could be infinitely recycled.
You think.
and that was before TOS Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to it?
Actually, they've had 3 different instances where they've come up with the tool to recomposite.
Even Scotty had one that he did, right?
Yeah. He figured out how to do it by taking beta radiation from a U.S. Navy nuclear. I mean, that's what he explains.
No, okay. Truthfully, what he did is he dipped it into some Scotch whiskey. All right. We're talking about Scotty here. All right. He dipped it into some whiskey. All right.
So what you're saying is he actually sent her and Chekhov to the nuclear reactor just to distract him while he was in there opening the bottle.
Oh yeah, I mean he was actually in the captain's day room, going through the liquor cabinet. That's what he was doing. He was getting that good stuff.
Oh, laddie, this is a Scotch.
Yeah.
This is Robert Gino.
Here's an important question. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You get the Scotch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You get the whiskey in the year 1985, I think it was. And then you travel with your whales back to the present, future tense, whatever tense we want to use. All right. Mm-hmm. You travel back. Has that whiskey aged? Is it now a 200-year-old whiskey, or is it still? Nah. I mean, if you held it out the window of the ship as you went back in time? Would it age differently? Oh, wow. As the further you got from the center of mass on this gravitational shot put, would there be a different level of aging? That's a good question.
Here's one for you, an episode I'd actually like to see.
What?
Similar ideas that they actually redo part of Star Trek 4, in that you see Scotty grabbing cases of like old rarity whiskey and sticking it in the cargo hold. He doesn't tell anybody.
No.
But he just sticks it in there. And so Spock's calculations are wrong. So when they get back to the future, they're at the wrong time. And Kirk is like, I thought you took this into account. And Spock, my calculations were correct. We should be in the latter half of the 23rd century. And Scotty's going,
yeah, I forgot to tell you, sir, we took on some ballast.
So it's only like a 2 tons. No, not a big deal.
She was trimming a bit hard to starboard, so I put some ballast in to bring it back to port.
But I'd actually enjoy seeing that as a possible.
It feels more like an Orville episode. All right, where they have to bust somebody who keeps hopping back in time in order to grab stuff that technically is from that time period, but it didn't really age. So. That'd be one, or even worse, like we said, some of the bottles were strapped to the outside, some were on the inside. So some aged, some didn't. All right.
It's on a gradient curve. It's like a bell curve.
Yeah.
It's like if it's inside, it's fine. If it's on the outer edges, it went back or it went forward, one of the two. So depending where it landed. So getting back to Starfleet Academy.
Mark, we have already come up with a better episode than they've had.
Yeah, we have. So I actually do want to give them kudos for developing the Klingon that they have in the show. Jaden, yeah. Because they actually have done what you described, which was he's not the Klingon that everybody else, stock mold Klingon. Pop him out of the mold. Here you go. Stock mold Klingon. He has a lot of features that are not stock, that are different. He actually has a very, very rigorously defined backstory, which actually, to me, makes sense for the story that they come from in Starfleet Academy. I personally don't think that, unfortunately, that is going to matter, because I think that we'll get to it, but I think that Starfleet Academy is not going to last, because its demographic stats are not doing great.
I hear that the viewership overseas is starting to pick up on it, and because of that, it's actually caused a bump in the viewership of Discovery, as people who have been watching Academy go, "Oh, this is an offshoot of Discovery. I'm going to go back and watch that." But not here in the U.S. No, but like one of my problems with it is that if you go back and look at traditional Trek, TOS, TNG, all those other ones, the big emotional stuff and all the things, character development, all the emotional stuff, it occurred, all right, but it occurred ancillary to the issues that they were resolving.
They weren't central to it.
Yeah, but here in Starfleet Academy, they make those issues central and the things to be solved as ancillary. They flipped it.
Yeah. I mean, there were very few episodes of TOS that did it, and there were very few episodes of TNG that did it, but it was like few and far in between. It was it wasn't one per season.
Yeah. And what there was another thing that they did in the original series that I really liked. They were in space.
Actually, something I wanted to point out for you is that your theory about deflector shields and the light streaks, I think, is actually very accurate, because the thing about the shuttle is this little small thing, right? And they're plowing around at whatever warp. They never just tell you what it is anymore. They just well, we'll go over this planet. Zippity,
Yeah.
they're just doing that.
They're traveling at the speed of plot.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But basically now it's gotten to the point where they're going so fast that it's a white seam on the screen with streaks of white, which is actually reminiscent of the Star Trek the motion picture promo, which is actually kind of funny. But the thing I believe you actually hit the nail on the head, because everybody's like, well, what are these streaks? What are these lights? And I think they're particles. I think they are particles, depending on the density of the gas and whatever they're flowing through. You get more streaks or less streaks. So if it's like intergalactic space, you'll have practically nothing.
Well,
if it's inside the galaxy, you're going to be, So
and that's the thing is even in deep space, vacuum still has a couple of atoms per cubic meter.
Mhm.
All right. And that's what the deflectors are for, is to move those off to the side. And even if you're moving them off to the side, there's still going to be an interchange of energies. And that's where you get the nice little tracers.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't be stars. You were absolutely right about that. And actually, it's bothered me for such a long time until you hit on that. I was like, well, that makes perfect sense. Logistically.
Yeah. I mean, because I was thinking about it. I mean, even if you are traveling at, let's say, TOS warp 4 or warp 3 warp 4, you're not going to see that much of a shift in the stars.
Yeah,
because it is still slow as crap because the universe is big.
I think there's a game that actually shows that really well. I think it's No Man's Sky. I'm not exactly sure, but they actually showed it as it's moving between stars, and they've actually put a lot of stars in the system. Yeah, and so it's like.
Yeah, basically, in TOS, it's like you're driving towards the mountains. They move a little bit, all right? In TNG, it's like you're flying towards the mountains. They move a lot. They move faster, all right? And in, I guess in Starfleet Academy, they're bringing the mountain.
You're hitting the
Muhammad. I don't know what the hell's going on.
You're hitting the mountain.
Yeah. They basically made it two-dimensional, and the mountain is there.
I discovered solid matter, and my face is planted into it.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I don't like this. This is not a good discovery. Pun intended.
Yeah, I just, once again, I really wish that they would get some technical consultants for the show.
They could hire us. I mean, if they want to.
Oh yeah, that boat's gonna float.
It could happen in another universe. We're working.
Monkeys can fly out of my butt too. All right.
Well, be careful.
Dwelling butt monkeys. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Man.
Be careful about what you say. You might have that happen.
I might have an anal dwelling butt monkey. Well, I'm hitting the talk show circuit. That's what I'm saying.
Can you imagine how much money you'd make? It'd be like, I actually had this happen, and it was from a movie.
Yeah,
it'd be so strange.
Well, actually, if you remember the movie, was it Bruce? Not Bruce Almighty. Was it Bruce Almighty?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had the one scene where the guys were hustling him in the alley, and he said something. And the guy said, "Yeah, when monkeys fly out of my butt." He's like, "Okay," and the monkey, "Oh, my little anal dwelling monkey," and then he sent the monkey back. That was the hard bit.
Yeah, I actually really love that scene. I personally, out of all the things from the movie, that's actually probably one of my favorite scenes from the movie. The Jim Carrey has some great facial expression repertoire, and it's one of the best ones for his delivery of that. I mean, Mask is pretty good, but he's wearing all that, so it's.
I was not that big of a fan of Mask. I mean,
it just he didn't have as much of his ability to express himself because he had all the appliances on his face.
Yeah, that was the equivalent of Carrot Top with all the props. But no, he's really good facial expression guy, and I mean, I really loved him in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yeah, that was a good
That was
one.
a really good one. The
Oh
makeup
yeah.
person on that did a really great job because he was
But you
still
know what?
all in this, but he still was able to emote and do all this.
We don't know if whether or not that is canon to Star Trek, so we need to step back. Was the Grinch in Star Trek? I don't know.
What species would he be? Grinch? Grinch?
No, but you know what? I
Hmm.
bet the Grinch is canon to the Avengers because remember they were in the quantum realm.
That's scary.
Whoville was in the quantum realm, I believe.
That's scary on a whole nother level, sir. You've actually brought us into what happens after the whole thing with the. I think they're going to go ahead and do the whole.
Still with me?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I just
Okay.
I had my computer. It's fun right now.
That's all right. It's just I forget what Marvel said they were going to do, but it's essentially there's talk about them bringing back the whole thing with Kang and whatnot, and there's also the Game Planet or whatever it is. The okay, it's Enterprise.
Well, no, I wanted to share with you.
Uh huh. There you go.
Oh, it stops going as soon as I click off of it. Yeah, I got the Bussards to do the flicker stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Can you control the
and the light
timing?
and the windows all light up at the same time and all that stuff.
Can you control the timing?
Yes, yeah, I'm using a ESP32 device board, and I've uploaded WLED onto it, and it gives me full control over the LEDs, every timing, every effect, every color, brightness, intensity, everything. I have full control over it. Matter of fact, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to have each of the Bussards rotate in opposite directions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cool.
and so yeah, sorry, I just wanted to share that.
Oh, you're fine. I actually think it's really cool.
Yeah.
When you do
Actually,
the
what?
windows, I did want to ask you because I was actually starting to look at tinkering with model building and putting windows in things. Do you actually do like a UV resin to like fill in the windows and then after you
Okay.
spread them out?
It depends on the size.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because, all right, that ship there is
Mm-hmm.
650.
Mm-hmm.
600, 650. It's the 18-inch one. So it's the original model that they came out with in the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks. It's like one of the worst models ever to put together. I mean, and because they're still using the same mold from the 70s. And so you got all this flashing and all this kind of crap. It's a horrible kit to put together. But that being said, if you're doing like the 1/1000 sizes, all
Mm-hmm.
right, where they only come out to be like a foot long,
Mm-hmm.
those now just drill straight in. Just drill in with like what do I use? I use like a 0.5 millimeter
Mm-hmm.
drill bit, and they break so easy. Oh my god, they break so easy that I just buy them by the 10 pack off of AliExpress because they break so easy. Hold on. But then like this one, what I'm doing on this one is I'm using the Raytheon effect for the windows.
Okay.
Where I selectively don't light block certain areas on the inside, and then I light blocked on the outside when I was laying down the primer coat, but not when I was laying down the top coat. And so when you can see the windows there,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like plastic windows, but when I turn on the lights, it shines through where the windows are.
Cool.
And so that's the Raytheon effect that I'm doing on that one, and a lot like that that Enterprise C that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the newer kits that they're coming out with, like the Voyager, the Enterprise C, the Enterprise F, and all E or F, whatever, they are casting those in translucent resin. I mean, translucent polystyrene. So if you want to, it's got a built-in Raytheon effect. All you have to do is some people they'll paint it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, they'll selectively light block on the inside, and then on the outside they'll paint it. Then they'll go back through with something and they'll scratch out the windows, and that lets the light through. Or what I prefer to do is I make little window masks with the cameo silhouette cameo that I have, and I just make those and I put those in, and then after I get done painting, I just peel off those masks, and so the light can come through.
That's cool.
Which was a bitch on the Enterprise C, because I counted, even though I only did like 2/3 of the windows, because third shift's got to sleep. Even though I only did 2/3 of the windows, I did over 700 window masks on that damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot.
You're talking about that.
But yeah, so they have that now, and some of the other ones, like the Strange New Worlds ones, they come with clear pieces that snap in. They've already got the windows, and like some of the newer kits, the bigger newer kits, they are built for lighting, and they come with clear pieces that are already snap in. But when you get to some of the older kits, yes, some people use resin, clear resin with a UV light. Some people will use stuff like canopy glue or something like that, because that dries clear, and they'll make it out of that. And some people just leave them open. Some people will go ahead and just like mount something on the inside that will diffuse the light. So like clear polystyrene or clear, hell, even clear paper in there or something like that to break up that light. There's all kinds of different little tricks. I liked the Raytheon effect best myself, because it just looks better. I mean, it doesn't look so good on these because the windows on this old model are really not to scale, not at all.
There's a lot of problems with the AMT model. I still find it funny that it is basically the same model. Caveats to a little bit. They did retool a little bit, but it's basically the same model they used for the Doomsday Machine for the Constellation. And poor Matt Jeffries was like, "Well, we got to damage this thing. What do we do? You got a Bic lighter?"
Yeah. I think they used a Bic lighter and the aerosol can, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, the front of the primary hull, he literally Bic lightered the edge, so it's a genuine Bic lighter damage. Anti-proton Bic lighter. And
that's the thing is, when you're dealing with at the time that would have been like a $2 model. Yeah, you can go ahead and experiment all you want, trash that thing, go for it.
And nowadays people are like, "That's a $20 model. I don't want to use a Bic lighter on it." Yeah.
Oh, not even 20. Now they're like 40.
Yeah, it's gotten
ridiculous. That was the reason. For those watching, if you want to, was it Round 2 had come out with a kit called the Build Together. It was build and then the number 2 and then together. And what it was is you're supposed to build it with your child, and it had really noxious pictures on the outside. The people straight up look Mormon. They were so white. And
and the father looks like he's going to slap the kid if he gets it wrong.
No, they look like they're going to. Oh God, it was like it totally looked like. And now we're going to go pray to. No, but anyways, I won't go down the religious thing. But the great thing about that kit is, if you look online, you can pick up that kit for like $30 because a lot of people didn't like it. But inside of it is. And literally all they did is they went into the warehouse and they picked the bags up of the models. So it's got the 18-inch TOS Enterprise in it. All right, with all the stuff they just grab the bags, throw them in. All right, and it has the 1/1000 scale that is from the Botany Bay one that you can get the ship in the Botany Bay. It's got that ship in it too, and they just grab. Literally, it's the same ones. And to the point that in the bag, it has all the different parts. So on the 1/1000, you can either do, pilot 1, pilot 2, or the standard run stuff. It's got all the parts in there.
I was actually smiling because somebody a long time ago had kit bashed the wrong. They had kit bashed the wrong, and we've talked about the wrong before. Hey, look, let's see how many cells I can stick on this thing.
Oh yeah.
But what they'd done is they'd taken the Botany Bay and stuck the big Enterprise nacelles on it. It's like a little bitty shit. Big nacelles. It's like, so what you're saying basically is the Botany Bay came along and somebody went, we need to make this thing go really, really fast for a few seconds because
the individual who comes up with those, if they were playing Spelljammer, they would gravitate towards the Tinker Gnome ships. Yeah. No, but as I was saying, that build together kit, you can pick that up for like $35, and it has the $30 kit in it, and it has the $40 kit in it. So you're getting like $70 worth of kit for like $35. So it's a really good deal. The only problem with the 1000 kit is because that's the one that the child's supposed to put together. It does not have the water slide decals in it. It actually has stickers.
Oh, okay.
But you can go online and purchase the water slide decals, no problem. Yeah.
I just remember when I was a kid, my dad used to complain about me and my penchant for trying to make the Enterprise do things it did on the show. And good thing is the kits were $6 a piece. Otherwise, I'd not have that many Enterprises to experience stuff with. Because, that torsional stress as you whip that ship around, those nacelle struts are just not going to take it.
No.
Scotty's going to be bitching up a storm.
See, I had an older brother that pretty much destroyed everything that I had. So every time I put a model together, it didn't last that long before he accidentally broke it. Yeah,
he was like the Doomsday Machine of your home. He basically
he was like Sid from Toy Story of my home.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I was just like, you see it, you see the cone of oblivion cruising to you. You're like, oh, it's gonna be a bad day.
Yeah, it was more like, will he even let me get to paint it before he destroys it? Yeah.
One of the things I discovered with Meshi AI, before we at least try and talk about Starfleet Academy for a little bit, was that
we've checked that box.
I took the Doomsday Machine and dropped it into Meshi AI, and so one of the things is that's kind of funny about it because it's basically a tube, truncated tube.
Yeah.
It created a flat Doomsday Machine, like
instead
of like this, it's
Emu.
Like it gets squished. It's like, ooh, this got too close to the neutron star, so it squish. It's like long but narrow. Like, okay, don't think you quite understand what I'm trying to talk about.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
But it's getting there. It's trying at least.
As they say, it is the worst it will be right now.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of ironic actually because the AI program that they're using to create things that are going to put basically Hollywood saying is going to put them out of business called Sundance. I really can see it actually coupled with stuff like Blender and whatnot. If it can't render it itself, then I can see it easily taking and going into Blender and building its own stuff or whatever, and then outputting it. I don't think that the days of like the old model building are going to persist, at least not like they did back in the 90s. I mean, I think it'll still persist, but I don't think that the houses that you have now in Hollywood are going to be as many or numerous. And I think a lot of the AI is going to probably supplant it based off of what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know because there's a certain level of creativity that humans bring to it. And
I can tell you stories about miniature figs that I've actually taken from my old D&D days, and I've actually created them and Meshi, and as they were described, Meshi couldn't do it by itself. I had to, put it
Yeah,
together. I mean, and it couldn't figure it out by
yeah.
any.
It's just like, okay, I went to a model store that I'd heard about in town today, and the guy had, guys predominantly has, models to put together, some train stuff and stuff like that. So I go in, and the store is, I would say, 1/3 World War II models, almost 2/3 car models, and there was like 5 Gundam models and some sprinkling of some other stuff. But he had, except for the Gundam, he had no sci-fi models. And I even asked the guy, like, "You got any sci-fi models?" And he's like, "Oh no, we don't carry any of those." And I was like, "That's a shame, 'cause I like making the spaceships." But because of things like that, because there is a thing in the model building community where sci-fi is really looked down on. I mean, a lot of those model builders are just straight World War II stuff, tanks and planes. Oh, tanks and planes, and they get into the, oh my god, they get into the minutia of it. Well, they're coming out with the new model 17, and this one, only 3 of them were flown by the Polish military, for 15 days right before such and such. All right,
and this had 15 rivets on the wing right here.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can see it on the model.
Yeah, they have some serious rivet counters. I mean, there's terms.
I know. I've talked to a few of them.
Yeah, but and they look down on sci-fi models, but because of that, we have sites like Gambody and Model Workshop and stuff like that, where I've spent good money purchasing those models, and I know that you have spent good money on your Tomy models.
Oh yeah,
and then there's Fan Home that makes the collection and stuff like that, but. Yeah, and that's the reason, one of the reasons I've gotten so hardcore into the 3D printing is just so I could print the models that I want to build. And well, another thing too is that with the 3D printing, it allows me to create things that I use inside the builds. All right. Like, like I've got the LED strip, but I want the LED strip to be up and facing the windows and stuff like that. So I create little stands and stuff like that and put them in. And light block things and all kinds of and I make these with the 3D printer, and then it assists me with the building. And if you go to some of the other online aftermarket sites like Lake Monster, Lake Monster has made a really good reputation and a really good small business in providing aftermarket resin upgrades to stuff where a better nacelle warp core chiller grill, a better chiller grill, a better Bussard front and stuff like that on the on some of the ships. And also, where's the other one? Green Strawberry out of Czechoslovakia. They do a lot of photo etch.
Really?
And I hate photo etch, but I keep buying and using it because it works really good. But now I can get stuff like off of Model Workshop that is designed as upgrades for resin, and use my resin printer to print off the upgrades and use those, so I don't have to, purchase from overseas.
Yeah, more or less what I meant, though, just to be clear.
Okay, great. So everything I just said was wrong. Go ahead.
No, actually,
that's fine. I'm married. I'm used to it. Go ahead.
What I was trying to say was that I think that people who are actually model builders in the community, who do science fiction models and do 3D printing, are going to be the resource that people tap into to create new things for the Sundance and stuff like that. Because what I think is going to happen is the houses that are currently in Hollywood that subsist on huge amounts of money coming into them are going to kind of die out, because that's happened before. I mean, it's happened many times over the years. I mean, from the 60s, the special effects houses basically almost died out. And in the 80s, they came back because, well, Star Wars and whatever.
Mhm.
But it's sort of cyclical. I
Cyclic.
yeah. So what I think is going to happen is the 3D community is actually with 3D printing and designing things and putting things together. I think that's going to be the resource that feeds that engine eventually, because
Mhm.
I don't think that the houses are going to be like, hey, we'll have this guy who's designing a ship. He's going to take, he's going to design all these things for us, and it's going to take, you pay him $60,000 to do all this. I don't think that's going to happen much in the future. That's
No,
what I
I
was
think
actually trying to say.
I think like the thing that's going on now, like with Gambati and whatnot, is that they have artists,
Mhm.
3D artists who
Mhm.
render out the model, and
Mhm.
then when they get a sale, that artist gets a cut of the sale.
That's
And
that's bad.
yeah,
But I
that's
think,
definitely the route it's going to be going.
yeah.
And I've said it before. I think that the larger model companies and stuff like that should really be taking a look at the 3D printing sites. I mean,
Mhm.
not necessarily just to shut down. I know that they probably want to do that, but they can't because they're in
Mhm.
China. They can't touch them. But these
Good luck with that.
these model companies need to find a way to get the metrics so they can know which models are selling the most,
Mhm.
and then concentrate on doing those, because there's models on these sites that the model companies have not made. All
Mhm.
right. Yeah, they've just not put them out. And if those models are actually getting traction and people like them,
Mhm.
um, it's like one of the things that irritated me with Hobbytown
Mhm.
is they basically stopped selling sci-fi models there too. I was in there the other week and they only had like 3 or 4 Star Wars and like 2 Star Trek models.
Hmm.
And I know they've complained before that they like, well, we get in the models and and then a couple of them will sell off and then the other ones will just sit there. All right. And we've had them for a while. And and so we're just not getting any more until those sell. I was like, okay, you're it's called survivorship bias. All right. You're looking at the ones that don't sell and saying because those ones don't sell, the ones that you're not going to buy anymore because those didn't sell, even though the other ones that you purchased that did sell immediately, you're not
Mhm.
restocking those.
Yeah.
All right. So they're doing it ass backwards, in my opinion. They're suffering from survivorship bias. And yeah, so it's just
It's costing them profits, but it's also costing them
yeah,
audience and
yeah,
consumers.
they're just not logically approaching it, in my opinion. But
Mhm.
that being said, yeah, like the box, was it the box right back there that
Mhm.
looks like what I got my mop bucket in.
Mhm.
That is full of TOS Enterprise parts. That is really just ready for me to start gluing together and putting stuff together and figuring out the lighting. Ooh, and I also found some a ring light that'll fit just really good inside the end of the nacelle. So that's going
Nice.
to light up really nice.
Nice. I
Yeah.
I really think that in terms of like being innovative and coming up with things and figuring out stuff, the fan community is really where it's going to explode and actually keep things going. Um, I don't think that the manufacturers, at least not like AMT or Revel or Revell or any of that, is going to be where the lead is going to be coming from, because it's not like the majority of the people who are Star Trek fans actually go, "Hey, I really want to go out and sit here and you know build this thing and spend a lot of time on it and then not be able to enjoy it." They want to build something they enjoy.
Hmm.
So the problem is that the newer stuff that comes out, when they need assets or models, they're going to be looking at, I forget his name. I think his name is E.C. Henry. I don't know if you've seen his stuff. He
Hmm.
he basically takes a lot of the proto ship designs and prototype designs and whatnot that were in Star Wars and in some cases Star Trek, and he goes ahead and they create little models and they output them as 3D scenes. And so he has like a variation of the Corellian Corvette. It's like a bigger version of it. It's like this one has bigger engines and actually can dock with a fighter and all. It has like a lot more stuff on it. It's very detailed and very beautiful. Actually,
nice.
like lots of it on the desktop.
Now,
And he's taken like the Dixie Cup. I don't know if you know about the Dixie Cup.
the
Ship.
Dixie Cups on the end. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but also there was a Dixie Cup ship that was in Empire Strikes Back. It was 2 sets of Dixie Cups. There was front and back, and then the little thing in between. And so he recreated that. And so I think what they ought to do personally is, because there's a lot of interest. People are like, hey, I'd really like to have that, or, get some of these other things. Tap into that and, sell these models as well. I mean, they could get people to make a ton of money on it, because I know there's people like, hey, I'd like to get a copy of that one. And I'm hearing crickets from the major studios.
It's not their traditional pipeline, so they're afraid to use it. Oh, but I wanted to show you. Okay, so this is the 7 light thing that I use inside the 1650 Bussard. This is the size of the one that goes into the 1350. It's a little bit size difference there, but this one is it 1 2? Yeah, this one's an 8-1 around, and this one's going to have, because one of the effects that I use from the WLED is it's called the 2 light chase. So 1 light and 1 light, and they chase each other around. All right, but then the things that you can decide with it is you can decide how bright, how fast. You can also decide how long the trail is. So if it's just like immediate or if it's got like a long trail on it that dims down as it's going around. So cool. There's lots of cool stuff you can do. But yeah, I'm with you on that whole model thing. Like, one of the things that pissed me off when Walmart was carrying round 2 models was one, they hid them. All right, they were on end caps that were hidden and stuff like that. And 2, they just carried the models. They didn't carry anything to go along with the model.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And to me, that's silly. They should have had paints there. They should have had brushes. They should have had all kinds of stuff. Make it a whole kit thing up there so people would be able to do stuff with it. Because if Grandma sees a model of an X-wing and gets it for Jimmy for Christmas, he's like, great. What the hell I do with this? I don't even have glue for it. I don't know what to do with it.
I'll take this spit. I'm going to lick the seam, and then I'm going to go ahead and get some baling wire.
Yeah.
I got me a ship.
I'll hold it together with spit, snot, and hope.
The best starship in the fleet, the USS Arkansas.
No, we use Busch Light.
I'm with you on the whole thing with Walmart. The most disturbing thing was the one over here off of Kellogg. Not to tell people where I live, but the one off of Kellogg on the east side. They had the models were all in like a box. They just threw them in a box. They didn't even have them on cap. Here you go. And then the only paint they had was for painting My Little Pony type miniatures. So it was really bright colors, and I was like, somehow I don't think this is going to work for a starship.
They just really they didn't, in my opinion, they didn't think it out. They should have had it as an entire setup, a whole display where you could pick up the kit, you could pick up the accoutrement for it, the paints, the glues, the paint brushes, the air brushes. I mean, they could have made a whole thing of it, and people would have loved it. I mean, it would have been a one-stop shop.
Instead of going to AliExpress, because Walmart just is not hitting the target on.
Well, I did get Slave One from AliExpress.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I've decided I'm not going to be. I say that. Okay. I'm not going to be buying any more models.
I'm not going to feed my plastic addiction.
Well, my birthday's next week, and after I got my year-end bonus, I went ahead and purchased a model from Cult TV Man, and I think it's the Enterprise E,
Oh yeah.
E or
Shoot
F
with no neck.
that I purchased, and so yeah, I'm not even holding to myself on what I.
That's all right. I'm still cranking out modifications to my printer that like, do I really need to do this? I'm like, yeah, I do. I'd like to do this. So
Yeah, it's the E. I purchased the Enterprise E 1400 scale.
it's a reasonable good model. It's a reasonably good model. I've seen it before. It wasn't the worst of the worst. The worst one was who made that? I think it was an AMT model, but it came out in like a multi-ship set,
Yeah,
and that E was like, don't think that.
yeah, they're little.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. There's several different ones where they have multi. I mean, there's one that I put together from 1980.
Mhm.
I grabbed a hold of the 1981, and it's got the three, the three enemy. No, it's got
It's
the
the Romulan Bird of Prey and the D7 and the Enterprise. I think.
no. Yeah, it's the Enterprise. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's Romulan Bird of Prey, the D7, and the Enterprise. And I got mad because my lighting in it didn't set up right and and stuff like that. But now that I've calmed down about it a year or so later, I'm going to revisit it, take it apart, and see if I can fix where the LEDs messed up. And if I do, that'll be a great one for the convention tables because it'll sit right there, be able to just run 2 AA batteries to it because it runs off of 3 volts. I did the whole thing off of a 3-volt setup, and you can barely tell the D7 has a lighting it. But the Romulan Bird of Prey and the Enterprise, both of their nacelles light up really nice. Although in retrospect, apparently the Romulan Bird of Preys, their Bussards are not green. I made mine green.
I think originally Wachang just basically, I think the only thing that really was even possibly lit up were the little holes, the little windows, and they were actually like little. I think they were actually just like little sequins they dropped on the hull to make it look like it actually had lights. I don't think it actually had any lights. But the funny part about that is the model went through like 3 iterations. The first paint job was more stupendous and very much more flowing and looked like, ooh, this is going to get me. And it didn't turn out well for filming, so they switched it to the orange-red version. And then they were like, this doesn't have enough detail. Just throw some sequins on it. And then, of course, it got destroyed. I did want to tell you, I got you something for your birthday. So I have it.
Oh.
I already have something in my little hands for your birthday. So next week, when we have the meeting for the Jeanette Maddox, I'll bring it.
That's not next week. It'll be the week after.
Okay.
Because today is Saturday, and
You're right. You're right. Yeah. This whole February is exactly like March. March is exactly like February. Got chocolate in my peanut butter and peanut butter in my chocolate. Anyway, so I will get you I will get you your birthday gift one way or another next weekend.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
No problem. I think you'll enjoy it because you expressed how much you would like to have the item in question, and I was like, well, his birthday's coming up. I might as well go ahead and then we can
give me a red-headed stewardess of questionable morals because I really want one of those.
Well, she is in a Tupperware container, so.
Okay, Jeffrey Dahmer, we can move on now.
There's actually. Do you remember the movie where they had the guy who was keeping people in the Tupperware container?
No.
Oh, okay, I'll have to look it up. But anyway, it was a comedy skit in it, and people were like, "This is kind of weird." And like, you think it's kind of weird now?
Yeah.
Wait until you take the person out of the Tupperware.
Yeah, that's serial killer meal prep is not something I had on my to-do list.
Well, these were full. This was the full person stored in the container, not chopped up. It was.
Oh, are you talking about Stevensfaga?
I think so.
7 Dwarves.
Yeah, it was. I think that was it.
Yeah, okay, that's different. I mean, that's Seven Dwarves. I mean, the big punishment in that movie was not getting killed; it was getting a perm. That was
Yeah, it was a comedy. It wasn't a horror film.
yeah. No, I love Steven Zweig. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I just couldn't
Especially
remember
the
that.
fact that all the dwarves are not dwarves. That's a common misconception. It's just a women's hater club out in the woods. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Well, it is 8:30. I need to get my family fed.
Okay, well, you go get your family fed and you try and stay out of trouble.
Well, you never know. I mean, I am so wild and full of vim and vigor.
All righty. Well,
all right, everybody. We'll see you next month.
yep.
Ciao.